Hi everyone, welcome to our small video about our EPS project in Finland, in Vasa. And we are the EPS team who did the ABB board game project thingy. My name is Eric, I come from Germany and I study media engineering and media production. And these are my fellow teammates.
Hi, I'm Mathis, I come from France and I'm studying mechanical and industrial engineering.
I'm Romy, I'm from the Netherlands and I study communication and multimedia design.
Hi, I'm Samira, I'm also from the Netherlands and I also study communication and multimedia design.
Yeah, great. I already said we did a board game for the company ABB here in Vasa. And we took this project because we felt it would be a fun new way to experience work with a big company. And they also were really keen to get some students working on this. And the project was about designing an engaging way for students who don't know that much about the company to learn about ABB, what they do, what they can provide for students. And we had a great time doing this project. And how about we talk about what we actually did?
So I will start with the project. Since none of us have a good, really important knowledge on designing a board game, basically during our project we didn't have a lot of knowledge about designing a board game. So we first start with doing a lot of research on how to make a board game, what is important in a board game, also on the game mechanics, how people can be really involved in a board game and find it very educational and fun at the same time. One of you want to continue on? Maybe one of you want to continue on this?
Yeah, we started research by doing some interviews with the target audience. So we talked to about 10 or 12 engineering students from surrounding universities about their interest in, well, first of all, obviously in ABB, but also what do they look for in future employees, what do they want to know before they start applying for a job at a company, and obviously what sort of board games do they find interesting and do they like. And yeah, so we learned a lot about our target audience, and then we did a lot of research about board games themselves and how to design them, but also how certain mechanics work and how to implement these. And
Yeah, and for that we also actually played some board games to not just do the theory but also try out some practical aspects we could put in our board game.
Yeah, with all those researches we made, we came out with a few concepts that we really liked. One of our concepts was basically, I would just go in the global. I won't go into details, but one of our concept was going around the world and saving the world from total darkness, and the other one was collecting resources and build your own project. So it would fit with ABB. So
You build your own board game.
Not your own board game. Not really built your own board game. No, but we had a meeting with ABB after all this researching, and they vastly liked the saving the world thing more because it shows like more positive stuff about the company, and so we built on that, and we came up with some more ideas about this concept, and over time we made it into a pretty solid prototype.
Yeah, our concept solid, and we started to work it out all in details, like very viciously. Indeed, like we worked out our concept like very more in details, and for example, the mechanics. We had a close look at the mechanics and tried to test Freer's mechanics as well in combination with others and see how that will work out. But we also not only worked out the details of the game, like who starts first, or how do we end, how do you lose, and all those things needed to be decided. And it was quite hard because at first none of us actually really had a lot of experience with designing board games. But then again, it was a nice experience. Like you forget stuff so easily, that are very critical in a certain part of the game. And but eventually we also started on working on design such as colors and which kind of images we wanted to use. And it was really, that was also, I think, one of the most hardest or toughest phases within the project, in my opinion.
Yeah, because we had to do a lot of work in like a compressed amount of time.
Yeah, and we stayed until like every day we worked from 10 until sometimes 7.
Late, yeah.
Like
No.
quite a lot of days actually.
Yeah.
And it was difficult because at first we thought that the design would be like we would have an opportunity to make up the design and to have some sort of say in it, and then we heard about halfway through the project that they would change their house style completely in March. So everything you do is more of a guideline and more of like a sort of advice.
Like
Maybe-
mock-ups.
Yeah, for them like, hey, this is a way to go, and if you want to change
Yeah.
this completely, it's okay. But so it felt sort of weird as well because you're working for something that they'll definitely change.
So, but maybe they won't actually change. I mean, of course, certain parts, but like they're gonna change the house style. But that doesn't mean they have to change the style of the game completely because it's such a different part of the comedy. It's
Yeah.
just it's actually about playing
Yeah,
an engaging thing.
that was actually quite a big challenge in the project when stuff during the project constantly keeps changing and shifting, and we heard it like it was like mid-November when we were like, oh, you don't have to do the design, and then some space in the schedule opened up, but then we had to fill that with more playtesting, for example,
Yeah, that's
to refine the gameplay.
Yeah, and we did a lot of playtesting with other students because before this we playtest a lot during within our team, and after a while we weren't able to find the mistakes in our game. We knew the rules too much. We knew everything, so we couldn't progress anymore. So we had to go and ask people to play with us and to play for us. Just to see what is wrong and what can we change. So it was really helpful for us. I
And
think
also
so.
how understandable the game is, which
Yes.
is the biggest challenge.
Yeah, before that you kind of need to prepare yourself for the testing. I mean, write down what you want to ask, what you want to test exactly, which part of, if you have a new mechanic or what mechanic exactly you want to test. I mean, for our board game, we had several ideas of how to make the game harder throughout the duration of the game. And that was quite, we tested with time, we tested with cards you have to take that decide the level of the game and such and so on. But I wouldn't say like the visual design of the board game was all in vain, because colors and images do influence players as well.
Yeah.
So it was also
That's-
for
that's
our
right.
own.
That's very true.
It's really having the visual design of a game. It's very helpful for the people to understand more the rules and also to be more interesting in the game.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the problem we faced was designing a board game hard enough that it can be interesting, but also easy enough to be able to win.
Yeah, to be able to play it at
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Because that was a big challenge because all the players, ABB gave us this sort of like a goal.
A guideline.
Yeah, a guideline to stay within 1 hour. So the players, which is including the introduction, so players would have to, well, I mean,
50
basically
minutes.
50 minutes sort of. They're aiming for 50 minutes in gameplay time, which is fine if you know the game. Obviously, we can play it in a lot shorter now, but they also have to understand it immediately in one try. They sit down and when they walk away, they have to know how the game worked and they have to have actually enjoyed it and learned something. So I think that was a big challenge.
Yeah.
It was like Matti said, it was like making it difficult enough that students, which were the target group here, find it interesting enough and like don't get bored, but making it easy enough so you can understand it in the first try, and then balance it with the playtime. It was a complicated process,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. So, what is for you the takeaways, the big takeaways of this project?
What are the
Now
advice
we're-
we can give to? What
Yeah.
are the advice we can give
Yeah,
to people?
because now that we're done, like we've done the board game, you have made very pretty visual design. We made great manuals. We basically finished up all they need. So what would you say to people?
For me, the advice I would say to people is setting deadlines at the beginning of the semester and try to respect them very, very well. And setting all the deadlines during the break, the midterm with the midterm.
Yeah, we had like this brainstorm phase, and I vividly remember that we were breaking deadlines because we were kind of getting frustrated with the creative process. And definitely look out for that, like if you have a creative aspect in your project. How did you feel about this?
Yeah, we call it in our studies we call it time blocking, which is so actually, but that the problem with time blocking, if after a while you can't finish something before the deadline, you drop it, which is difficult because I think a lot of time went wasted because we had a lot of concepts to choose from, and we were discussing about this for I think 2 weeks, and at some point Samira said, with a whole new idea, she came and she said, listen, I found this, I found this game online that we might want to look at because it's sort of what we have in with the traveling around the world, what we have in mind, and you just look at it and you go, and so something starts to develop and you create a narrative and you create a story, and just for 2 weeks, they weren't wasted obviously because we learned a lot, but within 2 weeks you sort of set that aside because you found a thing, and don't ever let yourself get limited by that thing, I guess. Don't ever think it's too late to change something now, because if you stumble upon something really good, then always go for it. I reckon,
You will always have small modifications to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, when you're on the toilet and you come with the best idea ever, even though it's like 2 weeks later, or a month. Okay, a month maybe to be exaggerating, but it can always be incredibly useful to your team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and what Matti said, like autumn break, don't get fooled by the autumn break. That's not even half of the project. How I feel now, like we put in like double the amount of time after the autumn break than before the autumn break. We did a lot before the autumn break, so don't get fooled by it's half of the project. No problems here.
If you have a creative process, like similar to the one we went through, you put it in different phases. Like we had, we tried to create a concept, and after we tried to design the details of the concept. And oh man, take a lot of time for that. Take a lot of time for designing details, because that's by far because realize once you've set all the rules, just making it is not even the challenge. But deciding on the content of your game, of your cards, and of your project, basically that takes a lot of time. And I guess always try to listen to especially in that phase. Always try to listen to each other and be very respectful of each other's opinions, because you have to make some harsh decisions in the end. And the things that you really like about the project might get cut because you have to progress and you have to discuss with each other. So try to always keep an open mind for each other, and try to not get too attached to your own concepts.
It's also the problem with playtesting when actual outside players, found ideas you had about the game and suggestions you had about the game, found them bad or good, and then it's conflict, not even from within the team, and that was also not that helpful.
Like Romy said, be always prepared to change or remove your ideas, as we say, kill your darlings. Because at some point, if you are discussing with your team, and sometimes discussions get heated because you're not always agreeing with each other, and make sure to always, in the end, make sure everything is alright between you and your project mates, because sometimes it can really take so much energy out of you to have a discussion or argument with others about some sort of part. But it's normal, because you want to justify your choice, you want to justify your ideas, and there's no better way to do it than through discussing. Yeah. But don't let it go too far. Also, I think
don't get discouraged to discuss. We got to great ideas because we were like angry at each other a little bit and sat together and we were like having a heated discussion. Great ideas came out of that, so don't get discouraged to discuss about your ideas.
Yeah, but I think what I meant to with be respectful. Never let yourself get to a point where you go, I'm not going to listen to this anymore because I have a fixed idea. Just don't think in that pattern. And I guess that's the best advice. No, but that for January for the
Yeah.
type of project, I think that's the best advice I can give. Try not to never get to a point where you refuse to listen to other people.
Keep an open mind and listen to everyone's ideas,
Yeah.
even people from outside of your team, because sometimes they can be really helpful. Just talking to them, they will give you a new idea and
Yeah,
it
exactly.
will be perfect.
I mean, they see it from so much different perspective. And I think maybe if other people are doing a similar project, I would say do more about testing. We tested a lot, but still in my mind, I think we should have tested way more, and it should have been a way bigger part of your time schedule regarding the project. And because every input is worth a lot. I still think we tested a lot, but like there is not enough testing
Yeah.
when you are talking. Of course, we have a time limit. We don't always have time for this, and maybe we haven't. But try to first see if you are making a complete different thing for audience or for your target group. Make sure to test all the outcomes or combinations possible.
Yeah, that's a nice wrap up, I think, for this. Hope we presented everything a little bit about our project and you found this helpful for your own project probably. And we had fun. It was a nice
Yeah.
half year. Even
Nice
though
on your
we
resume,
talked a lot
ABB.
about conflict and a lot about stress in the project, but overall it was very fun, nice time. And we hope you have the same.
I wish you a good project.
Yeah.
So, good luck.
Goodbye.
Bye.